morning from Jonesboro, Arkansas, July 2nd, 2025, 7:19 a.m. Happy Independence Day. Hope everyone has a great weekend, enjoys time with your family, and remembers to celebrate what I believe is the greatest nation that has ever existed. So anyway, let's look at this. Tesla. I muted the sound because it sucks. Tesla delivered the first company ever, as far as I know, to deliver a vehicle without a driver, without a truck, without something towing it, pushing it, carrying it. The car went on its own using the, I keep saying robo-taxi, and that's not right. Well, that is right. I usually say robo-cab or something. Anyway, the robo-taxi software to get it to the customer's house. And then it switched over to just standard FSD. And they chose a beautiful silver color. That thing is gorgeous. But this is newsworthy. This is phenomenal. It's exciting. It's exciting that this can happen. And of course, my Tesla hating cousin, and Elon Musk hating cousin, he's had Elon Musk now for at least 10 years. I asked him, I said, are you impressed that Tesla was able to do this? He said, nope, not at all. I said, why weren't you impressed? He goes, it's not that big of a deal. I said, what do you mean it's not that big of a deal? And he slurps all over Toyota, which is fine. Toyota is a great company that makes a great vehicle. And I said, Toyota can't do it. He goes, they could if they wanted to. He said, Toyota can do anything Tesla can do. I said, no, they can't. He said, yeah, Toyota could do that if they wanted to. They choose not to. And I said, are you impressed with over-the-air updates? Nope. Again, Toyota could do over-the-air updates, but they don't want to. I'm thinking, okay, fine, whatever. But anyway, I think this is a phenomenal accomplishment. Toyota has no hope in hell of doing this within at least 5 years, minimum. Maybe longer than that. They can't do it. They don't know how to do it. They don't have the skills to do it. They don't have the people to do it. You know, they are years behind Tesla, just like most people are years behind Tesla. And so anyway, I think it's phenomenal. But what I want to talk about the opportunities this brings forth. What's going to happen in the future? Now, electric got me to thinking about that, so I don't want to be accused of plagiarism, even though it's not really his words or his graphs or anything like that, so I don't think I should have to credit him, but I'm going to just because he gave me the idea. He said in the future, he said, imagine this. You drive he may have said Tesla, I'll say car, but Tesla will be first probably. You drive your Tesla to the airport to go on an airplane, and you have the car drive itself back home. And I thought, yes, that could so happen. He said, then what you do is you don't want to tip the driver, your Uber driver, or the pizza driver, so you have the car go to the restaurant and pick up your food order. Yes. Now, you'd have to have it set up where you know when it gets there. Then you'd have to open the door remotely. We can't unlock the door remotely. They'd have to put the food in, and then, the car would bring itself home. Now, at that point, it could be possible where food services, Burger King, Five Guys, Domino's, maybe they're linked into the system, and the car knows when it gets there, and it unlocks the door when it sees the person coming out with the order. And then it locks it and takes off and goes back home. That could easily happen. And then I got thinking, okay, what else? I was a curbside pickup at Kroger or Walmart. Absolutely. And let's say there's two people that work different schedules, different sides of town, a husband and a wife. The husband, he goes to work and gets out of it. The car drives itself back home. 2 hours later, the wife, she gets in the car and she drives to work the other side of town, gets out. And when she gets out, the car drives itself back to the gentleman's workplace. And when he and it waits on him, then he drives it home. And he don't want to go pick his wifey poo up. The car goes and picks the wife up. It knows when to be there. And it can even look at the traffic. It says, okay, it's normally 30 minutes to her workplace, but this time of day, all the school buses and whatnot, it's going to take 46 minutes to get there. So she gets off, say, 4 p.m., it'll leave at 3:44, maybe even 3:40, for a 4-minute buffer, 3:39 for a 5-minute buffer. It'll get there and be sitting in the parking lot waiting on her. She'll look at her app because it's a big parking lot, and she'll follow the little arrow, the little blue dot or something to her car. It'll lead her. She'll start walking, and it'll tell her which way to go. And then she'll see the car. And if she gets close enough, it might even blink its lights or something. Hey, here I am. Hello. I mean, the opportunities are endless of what this could mean in the future. What this will mean in the future. This is coming. The things I'm talking about are coming. Unless some type of political hatred puts a stop to it just because of political hatred. Something like that. And I don't think they can even stop that. That's the only thing that could happen. My EV loving / absolutely black heart hatred for Elon Musk and Tesla cousin, he thinks if it happens it'll be Toyota. But yeah, Toyota just doesn't want the liability problems that come along with this. That's the only thing. That's the only reason they're not already to this point. But, and that's funny because I told him, I said, so you're saying Toyota could do this? They could do over-the-air updates, but they won't because they want to force you to go to the dealership. And he said, that's right, because then they get more money out of you. I said, so what you're saying is they are lying to their customers and saying, they're saying, yeah, we don't have the ability to do over-the-air updates, even though they do, just because they want to force you in there so they can nickel and dime you. That's what you're saying about this company that you slurp all day long, Toyota. And so anyway, which I wouldn't be surprised any company wants to maximize their profits, right? They want to maximize their profits. They want to get as much money as they can. That's just the way it works. So I'm just giving him the business at that point. But what do you think this means for the future? What's going to happen? Is what kind of scenarios do you see this working in? Once you get to full self-driving unsupervised, where the car can actually drive itself like this, on a normal basis. And it can't plug itself up, so you can't send it, on an 800-mile trip to pick up your mother-in-law because you can't stand the idea of being in the car with her for 800 miles. You'll have to do that, and your wife will be with you, so you'll have to pretend like that you actually enjoy it. But anyway, the old mother-in-law jokes, right? Yeah. And so anyway, but that is a beautiful color. So anywho, I'm going to play the shorter version of the video after this, in case you want to watch it. This is the full 30-minute video showing the full drive. And and I think they had to get special permission from the city of Austin to do this, probably on a limited basis, because I don't think they're allowed to do this yet under normal circumstances. Even the robo-taxi has to stay within a certain area in Austin right now, and they have to have a safety driver for now. But this is not perfect. This will not be perfect. And the media will unfairly amplify, and unfairly hype up any mistake that Tesla makes while they're trying to develop this. And I remember me and my old roommate and my best friend, Manor, when we were roommates back in the late 80s or early 90s. So I moved out in 1990. So late 80s. I remember us once talking about self-driving cars someday. Because that used to be something we used to talk about a lot in the 70s and 80s. And I remember telling him then, I said, Manor, here's what's going to happen when we have self-driving cars. If a car screws up, say an LA Expressway, and I remember me saying Los Angeles, LA Expressway, a self-driving car screws up, and it causes a massive pileup. And let's say a 70, 80 car pileup, 20 people die. It's going to be all over the news. And they're going to look at like, what a disaster. Are we sure these things are safe? What are we going to do about this? Or do we need to stop full self-driving cars? Because you see the carnage, but you don't see the lives that are saved because of those self-driving cars. That's what I told him. You don't see that. And that's absolutely true. You don't see how many lives are saved versus, a catastrophe. And yeah, and he agreed with me, and that's absolutely true, especially with an unfair media, and with a media that's out to propagandize stuff rather than report on stuff. A media that picks its friends and its enemies and reports. That's a funny word, isn't it? I'll use it. Reports accordingly. If you watch the lamestream media for actual news, then I don't know what to think. I don't. If you watch for entertainment because you want to laugh at those silly people, that's fine. But I can't understand watching it for actual getting honest news. But anyway, but that's excuse me. That's going to happen. It's just the way it is. And I watched an engineer the other day. I don't know if he was a Tesla engineer. He's wearing a SpaceX t-shirt or shirt. But anyway, he explained how this can be easily safer than a human driver. Like he said, making these things drive 5-10 miles an hour in a crowded area where the cars all around you, bumper to bumper, 5 to 10 miles an hour is the easiest thing in the world. And he said humans get nervous in that situation because they can't see all around the vehicle. They can only see wherever their eyes are looking. But the car sees everywhere at all times. And it's the same thing even at high speeds. You're going down the interstate at 60 miles an hour and there's cars all around you. That car can see every single angle. You as a human cannot. Now, the computers are not perfect. They do make mistakes. They do things they're not supposed to do. But I still say the average human is more likely to make a mistake than the average well-built computer. I believe that wholeheartedly. So anyway, and he also said nighttime. Humans have a hard time seeing at night, and we do. Especially if the headlights hit them in the face, that really blinds them. I mean, it's all kinds of problems driving at night. You just can't see as well. And he said that these computers and these cameras can see better than humans at night. And that's true. They have infrared. I don't know if these cameras have infrared, but you could. And not just that, but you can build a camera that can see better at night than your human eyes, and it's easy to do. It's not even a hard thing to do. Toyota could even do it. Okay. But, yeah, so yeah, at nighttime, these things could be so much safer than a human. So much safer. But yet, if at nighttime, one of them does something stupid, that's what you're going to hear, how this self-driving car killed this young man. That's what you're going to hear all over the news. And it's going to be as though a human driver has never done that. Ever. Oh, if only these computers weren't driving cars, how safe the roads will be. That's what somebody will be hollering and screaming back, when we get to a point where 80-90% of cars are self-driving, at least capable of it. But yeah, I think it's coming. It's coming, and I don't think it can be stopped except for by a hateful government, and I'm not even sure they can even stop it. But let me know what y'all think. Look how far we are into this video. 13 minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to watch this whole thing. I haven't watched it yet. It's just too long. So I'm going to play the short version right now. Put in your comments what you think about this. And y'all have a good day. All right. Bye.